Our thanks to Dick Enberg in Houston with Doug Collins and Isaiah Thomas. This is Bob Costas. Just about time for tip-off between the Bulls and the Rockets. Michael Jordan and company have won 11 in a row. He scored 41 in their most recent victory Friday night at home against Minnesota. They've also won 10 of their last 11 road games. They're without Luke Longley. His knee continues to bother him on the injured list, and Tony Kukoc with a sore foot is also out. So Pippen and Rodman are the forwards. Wennington starts at center with Harper and Jordan in the backcourt. Ellie always a three-point threat, as is Maloney. Three-pointers a big part of Houston's game when they're on. But they lose it, and on the turnover, back comes Chicago. Jordan's first shot is there.
This is where the Bulls must strike against Houston. They have the speed, they have the quickness. They do not want to make it a half-court game. Take advantage of every opportunity they can before Olajuwon gets down the floor to anchor their defense.
Out of bounds to Houston. Michael Jordan is averaging 28.5. Shaq had 35 today for the Lakers in an overtime win at Detroit. His season average is now at 27.8. It's not out of the question that Shaquille O'Neal could overtake Michael Jordan for the scoring title.
There's the second team foul.
Michael, what a move!
Wow. Throws him on the pick and roll, stutter step. Houston has a hard time playing the pick and roll. Olajuwon don't like to come out. And Jordan is able to turn the corner and freeze the defender and go in for the easy dunk.
Ahmad Rashad back in Houston. Now, last night I had the pleasure of going to dinner with two of the best friends in the NBA, Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. Now, as you can imagine, that the main course was a large helping of trash talk. And Charles saying that there's no way that Michael would beat him today, and Michael going back the other way. But the crowning moment on the whole evening was when Charles finally broke down and said, Michael, in case this is the last time we play against each other, can I have your shoes? Michael said, yes, you can have my shoes. I'll even put number 45 on there. He said, but that's your number. He said, yeah, but that's how many points I'm going to give you tomorrow. So that was the end of that trash talk, Bob.
Actually, Ahmad, I thought the crowning moment was when they stiffed you at the tab. The other end. Houston looks for the tie, or maybe the lead if Ellie hits this one. And now they're up 18-17.
The double team and the three-point shot.
Michael answers.
See what Jordan is so good at doing. He's so fundamentally sound. He was able to get Ellie on his back early and then spin off him right into the middle and for the easy dunk.
Jordan over Drexler.
Now, that's one of the battles that Jordan takes personally. He and Clyde, they love to battle each other. They've been 1 and 2 in the league as the best shooting guards for a long time. And when he sees Drexler, when Drexler sees him, both their eyes light up.
The pass for Olajuwon too heavy. And on the turnover, Jordan comes back. Pull up, and he's got 10.
Drexler has to answer the challenge right now.
As the teams went to their benches a moment ago, here's Charles Barkley with a little love tap for Michael Jordan. You remember, Zeke, they were going at it that way in January at the United Center, jawing and bumping the entire game.
I think that's great when two guys can play that hard against each other and compete and still come out and have fun. That's what the game is all about, and they display their love for it every time they play against each other.
Hannah, thank you. Speaking of the playoffs, realistically, how much trouble can Houston make for the likes of Seattle, Utah, or maybe the Lakers?
I think Houston will have a hard time.
Wennington from Jordan. To this point, Wennington has outscored Olajuwon 10-8. Jordan with the turnaround. And Michael has a dozen. On the Houston turnover, it's in Jordan's hands, and Chicago has a chance to take the lead.
That's the first time the Bulls have shown any kind of upcourt pressure, and they forced a turnover.
Michael with 14, and Chicago in front 40-39. Olajuwon ties Jordan for game high with 14, but not for long. Houston is without two important players today, Matt Bullard and Roderick Rhodes, both hurt. Jordan, 18.
See, he makes the game so easy, Bob. He doesn't, because he can shoot the ball, because he can score in a myriad of ways. he doesn't have to work so hard. He'll save that push for the last 4 or 5 minutes when it gets down to crunch time. Just races up and shoots a little jump.
Ellie on Jordan. 20 for Michael. Chicago by 3.
See, Chicago has no shot blockers on the floor. They're seducing Houston into taking those three-point shots. They got to put it on the floor and drive it to the basket.
Jordan given room on the baseline, and he has 22.
But what you missed there by the footwork, I mean, he started to come out and take a little dribble handoff from Winnington. The guy jumped out and he back cut him and just take the little shot, what was there with the jump shot. That was beautiful, but he makes it look so easy.
Into the lane, Ellie. Fouled by Michael.
Watch Michael Jordan here. You see Mario Ellie, and Michael's going to go like he's going to get a handoff. Boom, little back cut, gives him a little shove, steps back and shoots the jump shot. How easy it is for the great ones.
Michael had a bit of a dip at midseason in terms of his scoring, but he's picked it up again lately. 41 on Friday night against Minnesota. 22 here early in the third. Michael stumbled a bit, gathers himself, gets it back from Rodman, but rejected by Olajuwon.
It's good to see Olajuwon moving the way he's moving. He gets beat here, and he gets back in time to block the shot. A month ago, he didn't have that movement.
That is so typically Michael Jordan. He felt he was fouled on Olajuwon's block. And look at him. He's still griping about it. So the second he touches the ball, he has something for everybody. For the officials, for the opponents. Here, take that. Michael. He's hit 5 of 6 and scored 10 of their 12 points in this quarter.
You got to double team him now. You got to double team him, triple team him. You got to send the whole team at him now because, Doug, he's hot.
Well, Rudy will have a chance to think about it. Michael on his own has just about equaled the total of 3 of the 50 greatest players of all time. Here's one of them with the ball, Barkley. And another Houston turnover. Pippen getting a breather here. And Drexler bumping Jordan before the shot, no basket.
Every time Jordan gets the ball and he's guarded by Drexler, he's either taking him to the basket or he's pulling up for the shot. He gets him right here on the pinch post, uses his arms to get him in position, breaks out. Now watch him pull through and just go right around him, and Drexler has to foul him. Drexler can't move his feet the way he used to move them. Used to be one of the great defenders in the league, Doug.
Remarkably, this is Jordan's first trip to the foul line after 25 field goal attempts.
When it's all said and done, Michael will shoot about 8 free throws. He used to be a guy that from start to finish of the game would drive the ball at the rim, realize he could not take that punishment over an 82-game season and come playoff time because teams were going to take such hard fouls against him. So he was able to step out, and he kept improving his shooting and improving his shooting. Now selectively he picks and chooses his spots, Bob, but when he goes in there, he's still devastating.
That's what makes the Bulls so special as a team. They're very intelligent. Michael Jordan, Ron Harper, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, those guys have PhDs when it comes to basketball.
After sitting out nearly the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, Michael Jordan returns. He's already exceeded his average of 28.5 with 30 points so far. Kerr misses the running one-hander. Brent Price has it, but not for long as Burrell steals it. And now a smattering of boos from the crowd that was so psyched at the beginning of the game. Jordan, 32 plus a foul.
Dennis Rodman's very fortunate. I thought he got away with a little bit of a moving screen, but Michael gets right behind it, and Charles Barkley jumps right into him, and see Rodman excited. You know, the one thing that's really special about this Bulls team, amongst many things, is, you know, they have a group of guys who really love to play basketball, and I think it brings energy, it brings excitement, along with their greatness. But, you know, they're such an energetic team.
Inside 3 minutes to play in the game. Jordan on the run, off the glass, 35.
Oh, my. Oh,
Plus
my.
the foul. And a timeout before he tries to complete the three-point play. Inside 2 minutes. Jordan with 38.
Set him up on the footwork, then reverse spin, caught the lob, and dunk.
Anything, maybe we should just look at it and savor it.
So did you see him set him up on the reverse, fake like he was coming up? He and Scotty made eye contact. That's why you got to keep Batman and Robin together. Fly, here he comes. Bam. And the amazing thing, you look at him, he's not even tired. He's not even breathing hard.
I tell you, I sit here and I marvel, Bob. I had an opportunity to coach the guy for 3 years, and to see the way this man still plays the game.
There's 40.
It's incredible. I mean, I don't even know what you say about the guy.
Roster. Pippen sits down with exactly half Jordan's total. He had 20, Michael with 40. Michael now in 2 games against Houston this year, the only 2 you play against opponents from the other conference during the regular season, had 45 at home and now 40 here, and he's had consecutive 40-point games. He had 41 2 nights ago against the T.
It'll be interesting to see if this week of practice, when we see the Rockets next week, if they're a better team when we go up to Seattle, does this week of practice help them? Will the big 3, you know, now have a chance this week to be a better team when we see them next Sunday?
Or does this serve notice officially and finally, with this their 6th consecutive defeat, that the glory days are long past and that there is no reserve in the tank to call upon? This was a 1-point game at halftime. The building was jumping, and Houston actually had a small edge in terms of the overall pace of play in the first half. But with Michael scoring 14 in the 3rd, Chicago opened it up, and then they blew it completely open in the 4th. Keith Booth makes them both. Chicago hit 57% from the floor in the second half. Brent Price. Emmanuel Davis is denied by Scott Burrell. And that'll do it. When we come back, Ahmad will talk with Michael Jordan. The final, the Bulls 109 and the Rockets 94. Phil Jackson's team has won a dozen in a row.
Shot back in Houston with Michael Jordan, who just scored 40 points in this contest. And Michael, it seemed to me that Houston played you pretty tough the first half, and then in the second half you guys seem to turn it on.
I think we got a good feel for them. I think, you know, last time we faced this team, they didn't have Drexler, they didn't have Olajuwon, and, you know, and Barkley's coming off the bench this time. So, I mean, it was a different feel for us, and I think after the first half, we made adjustments, and they didn't make adjustments, and I think that was the difference of the ballgame.
Games like this have to be a little bit tough for you guys. Playing a team like this is certainly going to be up for you.
Yeah, I think, you know, we're playing a veteran basketball team, and, you know, we both are old in terms of team. We feel we're a little bit more healthier than they are, and that means we can run a little bit more. And we tried to run a little bit in the second half, and I think that opened up the game.
Now, you promised Charles Barkley his shoes. Are you giving them to him?
Oh, yeah, he can get them. I'm going to certainly put the score on the side of it, though, because the last thing he said last night that, you know, we may have 5 championships, but he wants the last win if that so happens to be the last one.
All right, Michael. Congratulations to you. We'll see you on. All right, back to you, Bob.
Well, he might as well get the shoes, because they certainly kicked Houston around in the second half. A final word when we come back.